Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Good
Good
morning, Cari.
Good morning. I have great technology today. I'm super grateful.
Yeah, we're so excited. I'm excited.
It's the small things these days.
It's the small things, as according to Blink 182, it's all the small things. So it's Monday, and Cari and I are going to be specifically talking about lead generation today, which is a great segue as we prepare for the shareholder summit, because I'll be actually in a panel talking specifically about lead generation. And so this is my jam. I'm super excited to have this conversation. Cari and I wanted to bring this to you as more of a conversation today, because as we were talking through the outline and the strategy that we wanted to bring you today, we couldn't talk about the strategy and the roadmap without having a conversation about mindset, outcomes, not taking action, and the stories that we tell ourselves when it comes to lead generation. So we really want to dive into all of that today. And then, as you guys know, if you've been following us for a while, I like to break it down for you into steps, because there will be some people who are like, just give me the strategy. I can give you the strategy. I can't force you to actually do it, though. Right, Cari?
Yeah, it's usually not that we don't know what to do. It's usually that we just don't get ourselves to do it as human beings. That's the truth.
Well, and especially when it comes to lead generation. So what I have found, well, I guess let me just start by sharing a little bit of my background. So, I'm not just like making this stuff up, you guys. When I first got into real estate, one of my very first positions was director of lead generation. And I started out on a team that I think in the very beginning, we had like 7 or 8 agents. And by the time I parted ways with the team, we had 67 people on the team. So I was responsible for all of the lead generation. And I was also the director of client care services. So what I had done was we found out very early on that 99% of agents don't actually follow up with a lot of their leads. And so they would sit in like a big pool, and they would just get colder and colder and colder. And so I actually was able to take thousands of leads that had sat in the CRM for years. They were not on a drip campaign. No one had followed up with them in many years. They were cold. And honestly, Cari, I have to say those were the best leads, because it's like you're starting fresh.
Yeah.
You're starting fresh. And so what I was able to do was, through creating a system and a process to follow up with these leads very intentionally and being purposeful, it got to a place where I started out closing 1 transaction a month to all the way up into 6 transactions a month. So in my very first year of real estate, I was able to close with our team 42 transactions just through lead generation and following up with cold leads that were just in our database, who probably didn't even remember who we were, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely possible. And so we're here to talk about, how was I successful in doing that?
Yep.
And then what are some agents, like what should agents be doing and what are they not doing? And what's the fear around taking action when it comes to making your calls and actually lead generating? So, Cari, I'm going to let you kind of take over and share your experience with this and why you think that most agents, and I say most, not all, but most agents have a fear around doing lead generation on a daily basis.
Yeah. So I love your story. Most people don't know that about you because, you did transpire into a lot of operations and systems work after that. And so I think it's really important for people to understand, like, you came from that perspective, and that makes you a really special coach because you have done that work. And then moving into more of the systems, you can understand what it is like to be a realtor that needs to lead gen. And a lot of operations or systems coaches don't have that experience. So very important that people heard that if they are in conversation with you. The second thing is, this is also, you and I have this in common, because this literally is my favorite thing to do. Like, I absolutely love lead generation, believe it or not. I always get told by people, they're like, you're just a doer, you just do things. And that's why you have a lot of success. And that is true. I am a doer. I do get myself to do things. I don't have a tremendous amount of fear around that anymore. And so I get myself into a lot of action, and any sort of action, even if it's a really bad action, even if I'm not good at it, it's still going to get some sort of result because I'm doing something. So there is a part of that. But, literally I have the reason I love entrepreneurship from selling real estate to building a brokerage to building an expansion team to building a national coaching company and then building my EXP organization and then building a co-working space is because I get to lead generate for all of those things. That's my favorite thing is lead generation and lead follow-up. And I solely do and did most of that like myself because I enjoyed it. So like I was boots on the ground, figuring out how to find people in Facebook groups, on social media, through video, picking up the phone and calling lists, you name it. That's how I found people. And what I would say about this is it's like anything. Once you start doing it and seeing results from it, then you want to do it more. The problem is that we don't all have the same behavior style and personality at the beginning. And so it's where people get really stuck or they just do it tiny little bits where not enough to make any sort of result or momentum happen. So they don't get any feedback that encourages them to keep moving forward. I've now done it long enough that I always have some sort of result coming to me on a basis from things that I've been doing for years. And so I have this momentum going from all the years of every day picking up the phone and calling or sending a message or whatever it is that I'm doing. I can tell you that for probably 13 years, there has not literally been a day, and probably unless just on a vacation, even on a weekend, that I didn't reach out to somebody, follow up, at least send a text message or a DM, like in 14 years. Like that is just how consistent my follow. Like somebody will pop into my head. I'm like, crap, I didn't follow up with them. So it's a Saturday and I'll just quick send them a DM. It took me, 30 seconds, but it set me an appointment for the following week. Right. And so the point being is that it becomes such a habit. It's like part of who you are, and your brain is looking for those opportunities and sending you these reminders and triggers that you need to like do this. And you start seeing opportunities, but none of that is possible. I say that to give you hope that that can be you too, but none of it is possible if you don't start first. And so really that's what we're here to talk about today is like why you don't start first. And it really is just that you don't have complete confidence or faith that your activities are going to lead to the results that you need. So you have to borrow the faith. You have to believe it first to get yourself to do. And then pretty soon you will start getting those results, which is what's going to fuel you further. And then that's where you can start seeing that forward momentum.
Yeah. So Cari, just looking at the outline for this course, I kind of want to just start in the center instead of this top basics area. Let's talk about, excuse me. Let's just talk about why most agents, when they come in, we're told exactly what to do, right? Where we're told time block, from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. or 10 to noon, whatever it is, or even in the evening sometimes, you got a time block and you got to make your calls.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you guys, that's not always effective. And here's why. When we're told what to do and we're not given we're given the strategy, right? We're told what to do, but we're not given the autonomy and we're not told exactly what the motivation is or what the outcome is that we're trying to achieve here. It's like we're just given this task-based list of what to do and to make your phone calls. And here's this script, but it means nothing to us. And so what ends up happening is we very easily, we create a story in our head. We create a story in our head about why we shouldn't do something. And as you guys know, 99% of our decisions are based on emotion. Where does the emotion come from? It comes from the story that you're telling yourself. The story then creates the state of mind that you're in, and your state of mind will 100% dictate the decision that you make. So if you're told time block on your calendar has to have this time block in it. This is how you're going to be successful. Here's the script, make the phone calls. And you're like, who am I calling? And what am I saying?
Why do they want to talk to me?
Here's the scarier part, Cari. It's not even what to say or who to call. The scariest thing is like, what if they say yes? Oh my God. Now it's like, oh shit, I have to have a buyer consultation. Oh wait, oh my God, I'm having a hard consultation.
It's hard.
Yeah. Because like, oh, I have to go to their house and like, what do I say in a listing consultation? And then it's like this whole tsunami of emotion. And so sometimes what ends up happening is like we hold ourselves back because we're so afraid of the outcome, right?
Yeah.
We're so afraid of like showing up, and we don't know where to find the listing presentation. We don't know where to find the buyer. Can
Yeah.
anyone like agree with me on this? Like
Yes.
this is the part
Yes.
that's really scary.
Oh yeah, this is the being afraid of success part that people don't talk
Mhm.
about, because everybody thinks that they're trying to not do something because they're afraid to fail. That's actually not true. They're probably more afraid to succeed because they have no idea what they're going to do and it freaks them
Right.
out. So then they just start spending a bunch of time doing things that don't matter, right, Haley?
Oh my gosh. And so, yes, this leads very simply into you're still doing action steps, like you're still checking off the list of things. But here's the problem is you get into a hamster wheel and you think that by completing tasks every day, you're actually moving your business forward, and you're absolutely not.
No.
So I am here to ruffle some feathers. A lot of you are not going to like what I have to say, but I'm here to be kind, because sometimes being kind, it involves telling you what you don't want to hear, but what you in fact need to hear,
Yes.
which is taking action is a lot different than focusing on the outcome that you're trying to achieve. And
Mhm.
so when we focus on the outcome, we are actually able to ask ourselves better questions, which
Mhm.
leads to actions that will then bring us back to completing the outcome.
Yes.
So our outcome is not, I want to make 10 phone calls today. That's the action. And a
Mhm.
lot of us, we just focus on the action because we just want to check it off the box because we have
Yep.
no idea else what to do. We don't know what else to do. So we're not actually focused on the outcome that we're trying to achieve. So you have to be super, super clear about every single day. What is the outcome that you are trying to achieve? Your actions will change every day based on
Mhm.
the outcome that you're trying to achieve. But you have to get focused, because you are going to very easily become distracted. And we've talked about distraction before, Cari and I, in EXP University, about how easy it is to become distracted. So you have to take control of your focus. You have to focus on your outcome. The next thing is, and again, you guys are not going to like this, stop focusing so much on creating the ideal brand, or getting involved in your social media, or making your business cards, or making the perfect flyer. Those are
Or
action
stuck in
items.
your KV course CRM for
Oh my
days.
gosh. You should definitely, like, there are times of your week when you
Yes.
should be diving in to your EXP resources.
Yes.
Those are times when that should be time blocked.
Yep.
You should be, diving into the world. I don't think you need to become a master of the world, but you got to know how to navigate. You got to know how to get to
Go
the
talk
right
to someone.
person,
Yeah.
talk to someone and ask them a question. You need to know how to navigate SkySlope. You need to know how to navigate KV Core. Okay. But here's the fun thing about KV Core, there's templates in there. You don't have to create everything on your own.
And the thing
Okay.
is that you're creating everything on your own and you're overthinking it, not because it's important. It's because you're just basically trying to delay what you really
Oh,
should be doing, which is calling
100%. 100%. And so I'm not criticizing you if you are the agent who you're a new agent, you just discovered Canva. You guys,
people.
Canva's awesome. I can easily spend 2 hours in Canva creating something because it's relaxing, it's easy, and like Carrie said, you're actually procrastinating,
Mhm.
because Canva's not going to get you more clients. Neither is posting on social media unless you have a social media plan to follow and you're consistently doing it. But here's the problem: a lot of agents are so focused on creating their brand and their business cards, and they're focused on their social media, and they don't actually know how to properly be social and
Yeah.
intentional on Facebook or social media to get business in. So they're
Mhm.
just doing it as a way to not make their phone calls and delay the process.
Yeah.
So, but focusing on the outcome, making your phone calls and being intentional. Listen, it can be very fun. And here's why I say it's fun: because I did it for years and I made it fun. I did not ever think about, what if this person says no? Or I never thought about, what if they say yes? I knew exactly what I was going to do if they said yes. I had like not a bulletin board, a whiteboard in my office, because I knew that I wanted to schedule an appointment a day. And so every conversation that I had, every encounter that I had was meant to be intentional so that I could guide this conversation into setting an appointment. And then that appointment would lead to a closing. That was the outcome that I was focused on. And so I would set myself up for success every single day. I would know exactly how many people I needed to call, and I would not stop until I got the appointment. And I made it fun. Cari, how fun is it when you surround yourself with other people who are doing lead generation and you're high-fiving each other and you're listening to the other conversation and you're walking around and you have a smile on your face? And I'm telling you, the people on the other end of the line, they can feel your energy, right? And it's fun. You don't have to do it alone. There are so many opportunities, even here at EXP, if you're working remotely, there are groups that you can get involved with that all do lead generation at the same time. You
Yeah,
just mute yourself.
Zoom and we just mute ourselves and we listen to other people, but some of us mute ourselves, we take turns and we share our successes. So in EXP Family Tree, we do that if you're interested in becoming part of that, if you can't find somebody local, but otherwise find some people local and find a place to go to once in a while. Ask your title company, ask your lender, do you have a conference room that we can come in and make some calls one day a week? I mean, there's a lot of things. The thing is, there's always a way you can do it. You're just not looking hard enough because you're maybe unsure if you really want to do it. Here's the thing. You probably don't really want to do it, but there's a part of you that does, because you know that that's going to get you the result. You should feel nervous. That means you're doing something worthwhile. And then you can get into some sort of an action, even if you just, start somewhere. So Haley had some good points. One is, focus on the appointment, not on like how many calls you have to make. People that say, I'm going to make 10 calls. That's fine if you're doing 10 calls a day, but it would be better to just say, I'm just going to see if I can set an appointment and focus more on an outcome. Maybe it takes you 3 calls and a couple of messages one day. Maybe it takes you a few hours the next day. But if you get yourself into a habit of like, I'm doing this for a purpose, which is to get an appointment, then you're going to be more productive. And every single day doesn't have to look exactly the same. In fact, I used to play a game with myself that if I could get an appointment fast enough and I had some time left over, I'd go shopping or do something fun that I like to do, because
you're rewarding yourself.
Yeah. And there's something to be said about that. Is like, hey, there might be a day that's like, oh my gosh, I was on the phone all day until I had to pick up the kids. That was kind of a grueling day. But then tomorrow I did it and I got like my second call, I got an appointment, and I wouldn't keep going. I would reward myself because the day before it had taken me a lot longer. And so I like that outcome, driven type lead generation. For some people, that's super helpful. If you haven't even started yet, I would encourage you to just make a plan to get yourself to do it once or twice a day. Start with a very small goal that you can do consistently, because the consistency is actually what you're going to need to start with to build habits, build confidence, and build momentum. So I am going to make 2 phone calls to people I know a day, and I'm going to send 2 DMs, or I'm going to send 2 text videos. And that is what I'm going to do every day. And I'm going to do it every single day. No matter what happens, no matter if I don't feel 100% or the kids are homesick, I'm going to find the time. So what is it you can commit to that you could do every single day? Because you have to start building momentum and consistency first and foremost. Don't worry as much about the results if you're brand new at this. You have to start with the consistency first and the actual task, the doing of it. And then you can start getting to a place where you start saying, okay, I'm going to start focusing on setting the appointments, right, Haley? It depends on where you are.
And, I like that you said that you rewarded yourself, and you have to create a strategy that's going to work for you. So for Cari, it sounds like her strategy was if she could get an appointment, she would reward herself by going shopping or doing something that made her feel really good. And there's definitely a psychology around that.
Yes.
My perfectionism comes through, and my high need for competition was maybe what drove me to be really successful with lead generation, because the moment I got an appointment, I would not stop. I would say, can I get 2 appointments?
Yeah.
Can I get 3 appointments? And then I would be so on fire that I would make it a competition with the other people that were in the room. Now, this is a healthy competition, but I wanted to see how many appointments could we all schedule in a day. I can tell you that the all-time high of appointments I set in one day was 9. Now, mind you, I had to call about 100 people to do that. But here's what's really cool. Even if you don't set an appointment every single day, could you have a conversation that was purposeful? Could you ask
Yes.
for a referral?
Mhm.
Even asking for permission to follow up can be scary, but getting yourself to say it and practicing saying it over and over again, you internalize the script that you're given, and then you, for lack of a better term, regurgitate it out and make it your own. You make it your own, and then you start to, as you build consistency and momentum, there will become a time where, or there will be a time where you will follow up with people quarterly and they look forward to hearing from you
Yeah.
because you're asking them about their life and their kids and their family and what their intention are and just how they're doing, and you become a consistent in their life. And
Yeah.
even if they're not looking to buy or sell this year, maybe they're looking to buy or sell next year, how many referrals can you get from them? How
Yeah.
many times can you ask to continue to follow up? How many connections can you provide to them? Because sometimes it's not just about what you're wanting from them. How can you be a professional resource to them? Is
Yeah.
there a referral that you can give them? A landscaper, a handyman, right, Carrie? Like, it's all about what else can you do to pour into the other person. And when you have these conversations, lead generation isn't scary.
No, in fact, it's just about the word. You think lead generation means you need to call somebody and say, "Hi there, Haley. This is Carrie over here at eXp Realty. Do you want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate?" That is
Mhm.
not lead generation, although you might have been taught that script. Don't do that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why you
about,
don't want to do it. In
right. It's
fact,
about this relationship that you're
yes.
building with the
Like,
person.
"Hey, Haley, how are you? How are the kids? What are you doing for the summer? Got a trip planned? Awesome. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I am building this huge resource of local businesses, local small business owners and entrepreneurs and really great companies. So if you need anything, if I can connect you with anyone and you're needing something, think
Mhm.
of me because I'm doing this so I can provide business opportunities to, I just love connecting people and helping them, whenever I can't help them. And so will you just think of me as a resource? Help me out here because I'm creating this whole big list and I want to be able to, give them out to people. And people will be like, oh, that's awesome. That'd be great because I'm always
Yeah.
trying to Google. Awesome. So I'll send you an email just to remind you, how you can reach out to me. And by the way, are you okay if I just reach out to you again in a month or two and just check in? I just want to be better at my own follow up and keeping in communication and relationship with people and friends like you. And people are going to say, of course, that'd be great.
Mhm.
Awesome. Here's another thing. If you feel like you want to take that to the next level and come from even more contribution, start reaching out to those other small business owners and those other service providers and ask them if they've got something that they would offer your database, your sphere of influence. In other words, a 10% discount or a free this or whatever the case may be. And if they're willing to give that to you, which 99.9% of the time they will be, because you're out there promoting their business. So why
Mhm.
wouldn't they? It's a win-win situation. Now, when you call on a quarterly basis, you have something that you can actually give to people. And if you start doing that, they're going to be wanting to pick up the call because they're going to see what kind of discount or opportunity you have in store for them, right? Or you could even send that out in an email on a monthly basis if you found a monthly opportunity for people. And then what a great thing to easily pick up the phone and follow up
Mhm.
on. Hey, I wanted to make sure that you've been getting my emails because I've been sending out these really awesome like discounts and promotions from all of these other local business owners, which I think would be great, for you to take advantage of. And sometimes it goes to people's spam. So I just want to make sure you've been seeing them. Oh yeah, they've been really awesome. Thanks, Carrie. No problem. By the way, you can forward that on to someone else. It is for my friends and family and past clients and current clients, but it's also the friends and family of others. So go ahead and just forward it on to somebody that you think needs it. So those are like super easy ways. Did I say
Mhm.
anything about selling real estate? No. I did
Right.
not. And I don't need to because they're going to remember I'm a realtor because I'm sending them these emails or I'm calling them every so often. So when you're setting these appointments and you're doing these lead generation, remember, you can set an appointment with another business owner, with someone who could give you referrals, and you could also give referrals to someone else who could give you a discount like that. So think outside of the box and find vendors and other small business owners that you can contribute to and that they can contribute to you. These are also appointments because they provide other opportunities, right, Haley?
Absolutely. And this is a great segue into the different strategies and the action steps that you can take right now. I don't, even if you are a stable agent, these are things that you can be doing right now to improve your lead generation and to build your database. Last week, we talked about if your database isn't growing,
Mhm.
that is definitely a warning sign that something we really want to shine a light on.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that your database is growing. So the very first action step that we recommend that you take is onboarding your sphere of influence. Cari, what is a sphere of influence for those who don't know?
Yes. Your sphere of influence is people that know you, like you, and trust you in your community. They can also be anywhere in the United States, because you can offer to find them a great realtor where they live, by the way, or if they're moving in or out of your area. So anybody that knows you, that you've done business with in some way, shape, or form, or that you have any sort of connection with. And in fact, as Haley and I know, we've helped a lot of new agents get into this. And a lot of people think of like 30 people in their sphere, and then we start asking them more questions, and pretty soon they realize they have 100 or 200. And so we do have a memory jogger that we can send to you if you reach out to us, that can help you to create the foundation of your CRM, which is to ask yourself those questions like, who do I know?
Yep.
And we just don't always think of everybody, but there's
We
a
don't
lot
always
of
think,
people.
yeah. And also, I have found a lot of agents make excuses for people who shouldn't be in their CRM. Like, I had an agent last week say, well, a lot of my contacts in my phone are other agents. Hello, referrals. Like, yes, we want all of the people in your database because,
Yeah.
listen, just FYI, if you're forgetting, if there's another agent who might be at a different brokerage and you're continuing to follow up with them and ask them how they're doing, and if there's anybody that you should be speaking to, that agent is going to be so impressed by you. They're going to be inspired to talk about, well, what is it about EXP that is helping you to be successful? Like, tell me what you're doing. They're going to be attracted to you. So keep that in mind. Have all of the agents that you're talking to or that you've worked with in the past in your phone. This is a great place to start, you guys, is your phone, your social media. Anybody who, like Cari says, knows you, likes you, trusts you, it should be in your CRM.
Yeah.
If you need help or you want to use our memory jogger, or if you're a team and you're looking to create a memory jogger, reach out to me or Cari, because EXP has a lot of resources for memory jogger or creating your own, and I can point you in that direction. Once everybody is in your database, you need to be communicating with them. When I say onboarding them, it doesn't mean just putting them in your CRM. It means actually onboarding them, letting them, like, you're reaching out to them, letting them know what you're doing, how you can be a professional resource for them. And you're not being a secret agent. You are actually being intentional about contacting them and letting them know what they can expect from you as a professional moving forward.
Yeah.
So follow-up needs to be in place. Let me know if you need help with that. And then finally, this is something that I wanted to bring to your attention because I had an agent last week have like an aha moment when I said, hey, are you shadowing open houses? Are you shadowing buyer consultation, listing appointments? These are things that you could be doing if you're afraid or you don't know what to do. Who's your mentor? Reach out to them, ask them what they're doing. How can you be involved? What groups at EXP could you be joining so that you're getting real life training, right? Not just sitting behind your computer because you're afraid. If you're afraid, we want to lean into it. We want to get you out there learning with hands-on experience. So finding a community and people who you can shadow is going to be massive for your business. So when you are talking and doing lead generation and you're scheduling an appointment, you're not afraid of what the next step is because you've already done it.
And if your opportunity, what you should do is go shadow an open house and then go do an open house. Because here's the thing, an open house is not super complex. If you go
Oh, Cari broke up. Yep. So you want to make sure that you're shadowing an open house and then you do the open house because it doesn't have to be scary. It can be really simplex and it can be simple. There are strategies out there that are going to really help you. So, but please, 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 you guys, as I say this every single week, you're not alone in this. Reach out if you would like some guidance or just to be pointed in the right direction. Just please reach out to me. But up next, we have Terry Kelly with Tracking ROI. What are you really making on each transaction? And by the end of this session, you will have the tools to make informed decisions about your business. Thank you guys so much for joining us again on this Monday. And I will see you guys in a couple of weeks at EXP Shareholders. Bye, everyone.
Hey, everybody. This is Terry Kelly talking to you from sunny St. Augustine, Florida. I want to take a couple minutes today to talk over a tracking sheet I developed to help us track our return on investment, so we can understand exactly how our business is going. For those of you who haven't met me before, Terry Kelly, I've been with EXP for about 4 years now. Married 51 years, have 2 great kids, 3 great grandchildren. Been in the business around 20 years now. So I've done a lot of different things, but what I did find, if we don't track our business, it's so easy to get off stray. And in this current market, the big shift that we're going through now, I think it's critical that we track our numbers. It'll keep us from getting in trouble. It'll sustain us through the changes, and it'll get us ready to have more market share as we come out the other side. So this is pretty straightforward. I'm going to put a spreadsheet up. We're going to go block by block, and I'll explain it to you how we best use it. I have a copy will be made available to you later on, but for right now, just pay attention to what we're doing as we go through the different blocks, and it will explain and hopefully set you up for success. All right, so if the first thing you'll see when you get this, when you get a copy of this spreadsheet, is on the very first tab. It's going to have, it'll give you basically what I think, what I'm trying to do with it and explain the different cells. But right across the top, you'll see a note that says when you first open the tracker, you're going to have to make a copy. So the copy you get, you can't make changes to. So all you do when you get it, you just go up, File, click, Make Copy, rename it, and then you can do anything you want with it. Okay. So basically, this spot here is to answer any basic questions you might have about the tracker. I'm going to go through the 3 tabs that we're going to use. Goals. Goals are critical to tracking our business. So I have a little section here. Take a couple minutes to set some goals. You'll set your own, obviously, based on your production, your goals, and your marketplace. In the business section, you'll see that we have sections. You can't see all of it. I've got it big enough so we can see. But as we go through this, you'll see that we actually put our transactions in here, excuse me, in here, and it will calculate how well we're doing, how much money we're making, and how we stack up against our goals. And then the tracker is where it all comes together. We'll see our GCI, how much money we made like in the month of January, what our expenses were in January, what the net GCI is, what our goal is, a combination for, because we're talking with EXP agents here. If you're generating rev share, it gives us the ability to pop that in there as well. So that's the basic layout. It's real simple, but it gives you a lot of information. And again, let me stress this. This isn't something to spend a lot of time on. This is something you do when you close the transaction, when you put one under contract, and maybe once a month as you update your expenses. Don't let this be a time suck. This is something that gives you a pulse of your business and allows you to excel. So we're going to start with goals. What you'll do is come in, I'm saying an average sale price of $300,000. Yeah, I just put it on there so I didn't forget what I was doing. So a $300,000 sales price, if that's what your average is, I'm going to use 3% for the commission earned. So that tells us on that kind of transaction, we would generate $9,000. My goal, most agents I talk to say, I want to make a 6 digits. So I'm putting in here that you want to make 125,000. And that tells us based on $300,000 sales at 3% commission, $9,000 commission earned, you need to do 14 transactions in the next year in order to get at, or at least real close to your 125,000. One thing, I've made a change to this from the last time I taught it, your expenses. So if I didn't factor in our expenses here, then whatever our expenses were at the end of the year would have us come short, if that makes sense. So I put a spot here that we can actually put our estimated expenses in, and that gives us a more realistic number to track, right? So I'm just saying we have $1,000 a month in expenses, and that shows that we need to do 15 transactions, right? So, and sometimes now, if you're doing a lot of ad spend and those kind of things, this number will be a lot higher. I myself will spend $8,000 to $12,000 a month on lead generation. So obviously, I need to plug that in there, or else I can think I'm doing real good, but at the end of the year, I don't have any money. So once you get the 15 numbers that we have to do, I want you to go into your local MLS and figure out what your cycle is. When do the most transactions go down? If you don't know what that is, if you're new, you can go to your MLS and they can share that with you. If not, worst case scenario, Just go in and do a search for closed properties in January and February and March, figure out what your averages are, and then plug it in. Once you have that, and it's important to do that because January may be a dead month where you're at. So you don't want to put 3 transactions in January and you're upside down and frustrated to begin with. So you want to do it the best way you can. This one's going to be pretty straightforward. 1 in January, 1 in February, 1 in March, 2 in April, 2 in May, 2 in June. And I'm just filling this in as we go along. And December, we're going to take off for Christmas, right? So I plugged in that I'm going to do, this is how many transactions I need to do each month in order to hit my projected 125. As you see, it comes out 135 in here. But again, there's money going to come back out of this once we get into the tracker portion where the expenses come back out. So we want to make sure this is well above the projected goal of 125 when you fill this out. Next thing we do is we're going to go to the business section. I'm going to do this, in January. If you're just starting this in December, you can go back and put your information in to see how well you did last year, or you can set it up for the coming year. It doesn't really matter, but you can go backfill it to see how well you've done, or you could just start afresh. For the status, I'm just saying, is it closed or open? Is it closed or pending, right? I don't get real creative on there. I put a customer name just to help me think back on it, a street address, agent. I have multiple agents, so this one I did, let's say, so it's TK. The lead source was Home Light. Let's say I had a Home Light lead come in. I use the date list. I'm not going to fool with it here, but date written and date closing. That gives me the ability to go back and do a little deep dive on where my business is coming from and when it really happens. Because as you know, we may write an offer in January, it doesn't close till February or March. So I try to do that. Client type, this is a seller because it came from Home Light. Sales price was $300,000. We're going to keep it real simple. 3% commission. And so now you'll see it calculated out my gross commission earned. I have not capped yet, just starting the year out. So it's going to take the 20% out. And so the gross commission earned on this one would be $7,200 if everything was plain. However, I said this is a Home Light. Home Light grabs 35%. So this now, if you plug that in, it calculated $9,000 was earned, $3,150 went to Home Light, $1,170 went to EXP, and $4,680 went to you, right? So I'm just going to, you understand how this goes. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time, filling in blanks. So we have plenty of time to talk about it. Let's say this was a buyer and they had a $400,000 property. And again, we got 3%, everything's going well. You earned $12,000. There was no referral on it. So you got $2,400 went to EXP, $9,600 went to you. And we'll do another buyer here, another 400,000, another 3%. Well, let's go 2.5. So it shows we got 10,000, 2,000 went. So you can look at your monthly tracking. And again, I've had to enlarge this so you can all see it. But you can see that you've spent $3,100 in referrals. Good news is you didn't spend any money to buy that lead. You're only spending that money when you get it, when you close it. We've paid $5,570 toward our cap, and we've had the net GCI coming in is $22,280. And I'm using the net here for those of you that are real particular on how you do the breakdown. I'm talking about when I'm saying net GCI, I'm saying what's coming toward you, right? So here's the numbers we see again, 5570 going to the cap, 22,280 going to the net GCI. And when you switch over to the tracker now, this is where you actually do the summary. You'll see the 22,280 came in. We don't have any expenses yet. We're going to do that now. So my net GCI was 22,280. The goal was 9,000. You see this normally says focus. That means we haven't hit our goal. When you see it switch to golden, you know you've made it. You hit your goal for the month. And this is also a little way that you can track your cap. So you still have $10,000 you need to generate to get to 100%, right? So this is tracking your cap. This is tracking your GCI after you're paying out your referrals and all that. And then we need to now figure out what our expenses are. If you move on down, you'll see a section I've created, and I'm just going to throw some numbers in here. Let's say you're renting a space at Regis for $500. You're paying $125 in insurance, advertising. You're spending, $100 a month. Lead generation, you're spending $1,000 with making it rain. You're not doing two of them, you're only doing one, so that would be $0. Licenses and dues. Let's say you're paying $600 because it's the beginning of the year. Internet $50, phone $125, supplies $50. You're not doing any seminars, but we are EXP, so I go ahead and factor that in as well. $85 for that, and it tells me based on this, and of course this is yours, this is something you would actually fill in your actual expenses. And that's why I say you want to do this like at the end of the month where you know what they are, but you can plug all this in. That tells us we have $2,635 in expenses that we've created. And you'll see that now shows up here. So the net GCI minus the expenses, it's reduced down to 19,645 is what your net GCI is. The goal is 9,000. And so the GCI plus the revenue share is 19,645. So we killed it that month, right? Excuse me. The one other thing that I want to show you on this sheet, again, since we are EXP, $1,000, I'm saying, let's say I made $1,000 in rev share. That also gets factored in up above. Because one of our goals, what a lot of us want to do, we're working toward freedom in the market. We don't have to sell as many homes because we've generated this passive income, residual income coming from other agents that we're working with within the system. So I like to add that back in, and some months it may make your goal for you. So anyway, that's high speed, what we do and how it all works together. I'm going to go back to business and talk about a couple other ways that you can use this form. I'm saying all these were closed. So we would want those to show up all the way through the system. But let's say you have a pending transaction. And let's say Chris did that one. It was a Facebook lead. It's a buyer. That's $400,000 transaction again. Is that right? One thing I don't, when I have a pending that I'm putting in here, so I can see what else I have going on, and I would have a closing date here. Obviously, this closing date would be that it's closing in the month of January. But I don't put the commission in. If I don't put the commission in, it won't calculate. So it doesn't show that you've closed the transaction or you have earned that money yet, because we got to go to closing to get paid. We got to get paid for it to calculate in here. But this is a way that you can also track your pending transactions. And by doing it this way without putting the percentage in there, let's say this is going to close on January 30th, 31st, right? New Year's Eve, and it doesn't for some reason, right? You can then come in, it's going to shift to February 10th. You can literally come in and just copy that part, come down here into February, plug it in, and it's there for you. Now, obviously, you'd come back and take it away up here. So it's a way of, tracking pending properties as well. So the pending properties, you can move around if they don't close in the month that you project. And if they do, you just add, like I would come in here and add the percentage earned, and then it would calculate everything for me. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, this is It's a real simple form because it was created by me, and I'm a pretty simple guy. I like numbers. And I like to be able to track my business. This allows me to do everything I need to manage a business. I have a team of around 25 here now. We use something a little more elaborate because we have multiple lead sources that we're feeding into. But I use this same kind of format for years running teams, and all I would do is change what agent was in there so I could see who's doing what. And then the tracker is going to tell us how well we're doing. And it also then, if you see out on the right-hand side, it actually tracks our business, year-to-date business. See, so we can, any month in the year, you can look out there and go, I've generated this much money and I've put this much money in my pocket, and I'm on track for I'm on track for hitting my goals or not. What this is for, to go back to, what this is for, this isn't to track everything to the nickel. What this is a snapshot. So at the end of the month, you put your expenses in, you've got all your closed properties in there, and then you come and you take a look at this, and well, this month I'd be pretty happy, right? In my early days, this would mean I'm going to go play golf for the month of February, actually, and then I'd scramble in March and April trying to catch up. But what this does, you can take a look at this and go, everything's good, it's on track. I don't need to make any changes. Whatever I'm doing is working. But if for some reason we're behind on here, all it causes you to do is stop and take a look, right? You go back and look and go, what am I doing? Is this, because you may run into a month, you go, I got 2 closings scheduled for this month, but I don't have anything closed. But you may have 3 pending that are going to roll into the next month. So, you don't have to panic, but at least it says, okay, here's a pulse of how your business is and where you're at right now. Do you need to make any changes? Yes. Then evaluate and make whatever changes you need. No, just keep pressing on, making money and doing well. Without a system of tracking, what happens is you get out of whack and you don't know it until it's too late. You don't know it until it's too late. Real quick example. I have my own brokerage, did foreclosed properties, did 50, 60 homes a year. I thought I was doing real well. My business coach and I were sitting drinking coffee in the hall one day, and he ran the numbers in his head. And he goes, Terry, I don't know if you realize you're only making about $450 a home. And I said, no, I make $5,000, $6,000 a home. I'm making all this money, but all that money was going right back out the door, and I wasn't tracking it, so I wasn't aware of it. I felt like I was doing well. I had my own brokerage, doing 50 transactions, right? All this stuff, but I was upside down and didn't realize it. So that's how I use this. I still use it today. No matter how big the team gets, we're going to track as much of it as we can so we can make the best decision we can for our business. Hopefully you'll be able to use this in your business. I'm available for questions. You guys can track me down in Workplace if you want to know any more about it. But hopefully you'll put this in your business plan. You'll work it, spend a little bit of time each month bringing it up to date, and then you'll know where your business is. And I hope you plenty of success in the coming years as we move through this shift that we're going through now. I appreciate y'all taking time to be with me today. Hopefully it takes care of, it answers a lot of questions you have and helps you control your business as you go forward. Again, thanks a bunch. Just have a great day. Bye now.
All right, my friends, that was Terry Kelly. Amazing information, something that we all need to be thinking about. So, all right, I hope you got some value from it. I know that I did. My name is Alyssa Specht. I'm with eXp University. I am pumped to be here with you watching Level Up. So today is Mastery Monday, and the mastery will only continue from here. Next up, we are going to talk to Krista Mayshore, and we're going to talk to her about how to utilize social media and video to dominate your market. Now, I know that everybody's seen training about, use video for this, do this. What I can tell you right now, you haven't heard this kind of information before. This is really good. So, my friends, without further ado, let's toss it over to Krista Mayshore.
Hi, everyone. I'm Krista Mayshore, and I am super excited to be here with you today, and even more excited to be associated with EXP. So today I'm going to be showing you how to utilize social media and video to dominate your market using non-traditional measures. All right. So attract, connect, and convert. How to attract more buyers and sellers using social media. Here's ways that you can follow me. So you can find me on all social media sites for great content and ideas of things that you can do to dominate your area. A little bit about me. They tell me to say this kind of stuff as embarrassing as it might be. I'm just going to roll through it really quickly. I've been in real estate for about 21 years. I've sold over 2,300 homes, and I consider myself a digital marketing expert. We've done around $40 million of gross in online just in the past 5 years. So I really understand something about marketing. You can go ahead and scan this QR code. It's going to give you a resource page with a lot of the material that I'm going to be going over today. This is basically a training that is about an hour and a half long, and I'm putting the 30 minutes, but you're going to get all the good stuff and not going to waste any of your time. All right. So there's a book called Sway, The Irresistible Pull of Irrational Behavior by Ori and Ram Brofman. And what this book talks all about is that something that happens prior to an event can drastically change the outcome. So what that means is that people will do something completely different based upon the experience that happened before. Okay. The book is amazing. So I'm going to give you an example of this in a second. But this whole strategy that I'm going to be talking to you about right now is how you can position yourself as the authority, how you can develop trust, you can position yourself as the expert, how you can break people's barriers down, how they can see you as the authority, how they can get to know you, like you, and trust you, and how, more importantly, how you can convert. And the reason this strategy works so well is because of what you're doing prior to getting in front of somebody. I call it my winning before you arrive strategy. So an example of this, okay? Let's just say that I am an FHA, I'm a veteran. And if I was to say to you as a veteran, I'm a veteran and I don't have a lot of money in the bank and I don't have the best credit score. So I have the ability to purchase a home, okay? So if I create a video or some kind of content and I say, hey, now's a great time to buy a home, I'm totally putting you out because I don't think I have the ability to purchase a home, all right? So a cold lead is somebody that doesn't think they have the ability to buy a home. I need to make them aware that they probably do have the ability. So instead of me saying, hey, now's a great time to buy a home, what I would say is, are you a veteran and you don't have the best credit and you don't have a lot of money in the bank? Do you know that you possibly have the ability to purchase a home because you served our country? Now, all of a sudden, I'm taking that cold lead who doesn't even think they have the ability to purchase a home, and I'm opening up that they can possibly buy a home. So now that cold lead turns into what I call a warm lead. Now my job is to nurture that warm lead, to educate them more, to give them more information about how they, as a veteran, probably can buy a home. Now, my job next is to take that warm lead and move them into a hot lead. Now, what does a warm lead, a hot lead look like? A hot lead is somebody that now they know that there's a solution, right, to their problem. And remember, their problem originally was they could buy a house and probably didn't think that they could. So they had a problem they didn't even know they had, right? They could buy a house and they didn't think they had the ability to. So now they went from cold to warm to hot. Now they know as a FHA veteran, they can probably buy a house. They know they're really nurtured and warmed up because they've watched more content and I've educated them and added more value, right? And now my job is to turn that warm lead into a hot lead so that they know that I am the best person to help them purchase a home. Okay. Let me give you another example. This isn't really true right now, but it was, 6 months ago. So if I was to record a video where I say, it's a great time to sell a home. If I'm a seller and I don't think it's a good time to sell a home for whatever reason, maybe I'm afraid that if there's not enough inventory and I won't be able to purchase a home of choice. Maybe I just don't know that it's a good time to sell. I'm thinking something different. I need to be able to make that seller aware that it is still a good time to purchase a home. So as a cold lead, right? If I was to say 6 months ago when there was just tons, everybody was saying it's a great time to sell a house. Like interest rates are low 6 months ago, right? There's not a lot of inventory, bidding wars. Everyone knew, You had to be hiding under a rock, not to know it was a good time to buy a home. So if I start my video out or my content out saying, today's a great time to buy a home, you also are tuning me out because you already, my job is to make them aware that it still is a good time to buy a home. So I would say something like this. Are you a seller and you want to sell your home, but you're afraid that if you sell, you won't be able to find a home of choice because there's not a, so you're afraid that you're going to be homeless. Now all of a sudden that lead is like, yes, that's me. I want to sell, but I'm afraid I can't. My job is solution to their problem. Then that cold lead turns into a warm lead. Now I need to educate them and nurture them and offer them more value about the solutions to finding a replacement property and right now. And then lastly, once I've nurtured them and let them get to know me, to like me and trust me, I've added value without asking them to do anything at all. Now I'm going to turn that warm lead into a hot lead, which means now they know who I am. They know their solutions to their problems. Now I need to let them know that I am the best to help them move to the next level. That is a great example of how what you do prior to something else, the marketing, messaging, the activities that you do prior to being in front of a contact, of a cold contact, a warm contact, or a hot contact, absolutely changes based upon what you do prior from moving them from one point to the next, okay? So right now, we're going to be covering a strategy that resulted in 40, now this is just from this strategy, seller transactions in a 12-month time frame, resulted in $743,000 in gross commissions. Now we closed more than this. These 48 transactions came directly from the strategy that I'm going to be showing you right now, okay? The idea behind this is that you are going to attract, this is a funnel, right? Think about what a funnel does. A funnel, there's a lot of stuff that gets thrown in the top and then you funnel it down into a really small hole, okay? The top of the funnel is when you're going to be creating content that's going out to everybody. And while you're doing that, you're going to start to figure out, people are going to start to understand who you are and your brand. They're also going to be able to understand what it is that you are offering to them. So this way you're going to eliminate people that maybe aren't interested. And so you're going to funnel down the more interested buyers. Okay. Now, as these contacts go from cold to warm, now during this warm phase, I'm giving them more information that was relevant to the information I put in front of them in the beginning. I'm educating them. I'm serving them. I'm adding value. And in the meantime, they are getting to like me and I'm generating leads. Okay. Now my job is to convert them. Now, if I've done my job correctly in the interest phase and the nurturing phase, now they really trust me. So it's going to be much easier to convert, but I still need to make sure that I'm continuing to nurture people because as we know, especially in real estate, buyers and sellers are not willing to make a move right away. National Association of Realtors says that most buyers and sellers start thinking about the process 3 to 6 months prior to actually taking action. So what does that tell us? We need to be in front of their face long before they're actually ready to do it. So this is an example of what it will look like. You'll create a video or contact on, let's just say, the 3 musts when selling your home faster and for more money. I put this information out to a large audience. Now, certain people are watching and they're interested. So then I'm narrowing the gap, right? So now I'm going to make sure I continue to give more content that has to do with selling your home to that next group. So I'm going to continue to nurture them and add value along the way. And then the last thing I'm going to do to convert them is I'm going to ask them if they would like a home evaluation. That's the strategy that I show you now. And as you can see here, Kim says, oh my gosh, I had 3 CMA requests this week. And then Paula says, I'm almost overwhelmed with CMAs. And then Kim says, I just got 2 more. And then Erica says, oh my gosh, it does happen. I've got my 4th CMA request. So this is what happens when you utilize this strategy. And this is why it works so well. And this is also why most businesses fail, is because to have a thriving business, which you, by the way, are in your own business, you're a business, you're an entrepreneur. We have to think about all aspects of the marketing of our business, right? Marketing, lead generation, lead nurture, conversion, fulfillment and delivery, and 6 R's: refer, retain, resell, do rituals and routines, and you have to be thinking about retirement, okay? Now, here's the deal. If you have any of these gaps in the business, you have huge gap. You might be great at fulfillment and delivery, which means you're great at taking care of the customer. But if you don't have the opportunity to get in front of the customer, meaning you don't know how to market, you don't know how to generate leads, you're not going to have as many opportunities to do a good job for them. Okay. Now you might be okay at lead generating, but if you're not nurturing consistently, you're going to have a harder time converting. So it's really important that we focus on every aspect of our business, all of these areas. Okay. So what I want you to think about is, if you are not solving a problem, you cannot be considered a solution. Let me repeat that. If you are not solving a problem, you're not going to be able to be considered a solution, right? So your job right now in the market is to identify a problem in the market. Let me give you an example of a problem right now that we have in the market, okay? Right now, interest rates are high. And so people feel like they can't purchase a home because of the high interest rates. However, that's not true. People can still purchase a home right now. And if you can show them a way that they can still purchase a home, and in most cases pay less than they would have even paid 6 months ago, which by the way is true with the credits and the recessions and what's available to them now, right? It's just a matter of letting them see a different solution to a problem that they're having. So the first step is to identify a problem that people have so that you can become a solution. Example, high interest rates, right? Lack of inventory, competition, all of that is a problem. The second step is you're going to create a video around the solution to the problem. Remember, in order to be considered a solution, you must be solving a problem. Remember what we talked about in the beginning of the training. I have to make sure that my messaging is speaking directly towards someone's problem, because if I'm not speaking directly to them, they're going to be ignoring me and not listening. It's like that VA buyer who probably can buy a home, even though he has not the best credit and not a lot of money in the bank, but he doesn't think he can. So my goal as a marketer is to let him understand, or her understand, they probably might be able to buy a home, right? You have to consider yourself as a marketer. The backbone behind any business is marketing and innovation. It doesn't matter how great of a real estate agent you are. If you are not a good marketer, if you're not getting in front of people, then you're going to have a difficult time, especially when the market starts to change. That's when it's even more important to learn how to be a marketer so you can take more market share, okay? So step two, first step is identify a problem. Step two is to create a video content around the problem. Here's some examples, you can make that bigger, of videos that I created around a problem, right? Thinking about selling, limited inventory. People are going to watch these videos. Now, I run ads. I pay for people's attention, right? I believe that getting people's attention is one of the most important things in any business. So I pay to play. I pay for people's eyes on me. I believe attention is like currency. The more attention that I can get of my business and myself in front of people, it's currency for me. I'll make money on that later. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm creating videos. I'm utilizing Facebook and putting an ad spend behind that to make sure that everyone in my community is seeing my content. Now, the third thing I'm going to do is, now, once I record these videos and I run ads from these videos, then I tell Facebook, okay, now I want you to create what's called a special ad audience. It used to be called a lookalike audience. And I'm telling Facebook, find me more people that are like the people that originally watched this first video. Find me more of them. Believe it or not, Facebook knows more about you than you know about yourself. It's been said that Facebook can usually tell a woman is pregnant before she even knows, based upon what she's doing. So the algorithm behind Facebook, it knows what people are interested in, what they're doing. All right. So now I'm telling them, find me more people like that. And I'm telling them to put my video, the original one that I created, in front of those people as well. Okay. So within the special ad audience, I'm putting more video content in front of those people as well. Now, the fourth thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to create a retargeting campaign. Okay. What that means is people that watch the first sets of videos, I'm retargeting them. I'm showing up again in front of their face. Okay. I'm having my content go on their news feed. So they're seeing me and watching me and binging me. And you wouldn't believe it or not, but the more that I can speak directly to somebody's problem, and the more that I know what they originally were interested in, the likelihood of them continuing to watch increases significantly. Okay. And so anybody that watched 20% or more of my first video, now I'm retargeting more content and more videos to those people as well. Now, the goal behind this is that I'm marketing one-to-many instead of one-to-one. Also, my marketing, my videos are working for me while I'm not working, right? I record the video once, and now I'm constantly showing up in the news feeds of my community, while I can be, going on vacation or doing whatever else. Okay, so now I'm going to retarget 2 more videos on the solution. Okay, they're seeing more video content of me. And then once they've watched those 3 videos, then I'm saying, hey, would you like a market analysis? I send them to a funnel that is specific to asking them whether or not they would like a home evaluation on their property. All right. So here's an example of more ads that I create that are, again, nurturing, retargeting videos that have to do with the same content that they originally watched in the very beginning on that problem. Okay. So I'm retargeting now people who watched the previous videos. Now, at this time, I'm going to retarget people, and I'm going to use a different objective in Facebook called the conversion objective when I'm sending them to my What's My Home Worth funnel, because now I want them to convert and I want them to give me their contact information. So here's some examples of what the ads look like of where I send people to. Okay. Home values are rising, right? And find out the value of your home. Now, when they go there, here's another example, right? And if you look at this one reached 3,400 people, 428 clicked. That's a lot, okay? That's a lot of people clicking. All right, so then they go to my home evaluation funnel. And on this funnel right here there's a short video of me, and I'm telling them, hey, I'd like to give you an evaluation of your home, but I need more information from you. Here's when I ask for, are they thinking of selling? How long have they been in the property? What are their upgrades? Do they have a pool, etc. All right. Then once they've done that, they actually they give me their information. Now that they've requested information, now I'm going to retarget those people that requested a home evaluation to another funnel called a seller seminar funnel. When they go to this funnel, they watch around 21 videos of me. I'm not going to click it here, but there's 21 videos that they go to. That's me educating them about selling, contingencies, timelines, what to expect, who pays for what on this funnel. And if I can later, here's an example of it. Okay, here's an example of the funnel. Welcome to the Savvy Seller. Learn how to get top dollar in the least amount of time. We want to give you a pain-free move. Now, here are the different videos that they can watch. The pre-market quiz, pre-market timelines, timing, 5 things that you must do when selling your home, home evaluation, is Zillow accurate, what to disclose, reviewing offers, is it a good time to sell, negotiations, inspections, curb appeal. Should I take the first offer? What are contingencies, contingency time frames? And again, now this funnel that I'm showing you, right now I've retargeted people, but I can also use this funnel and what I call top of funnel, which means I can use this this funnel like initially to generate information or to give people value, right? I can have a seller call me and talk to me about setting up a listing appointment. And I can show them, I can send them this to this funnel, and I'm educating them. I'm bringing value, getting them to know me. I'm winning before I arrive. Okay. Now, once people have gone to the seller seminar and I've educated them, now I want to retarget to them, and I want to send them testimonials from past clients. So now I'm going to retarget testimonials from previous clients so that they know that my clients like me. And I also now want to show them how I market my properties. So I want to give them marketing examples of how I market my properties. So then I start retargeting, putting this information in front of them online so they can see the type of marketer that I am. Again, I am positioning myself as the authority, showing up as the expert, and making sure that I am top of mind at this point. Okay. Now that I've done all that, I need to continue to nurture. Remember the sales cycle, right? Now we've generated leads. We've marketed to people. We've generated leads. Now I've got to continue to nurture. So now I'm going to continue to put more authority videos in front of them. These are market updates, local restaurant reviews, seller tips, buyer tips, national market updates. What are the best dog parks in town? What are the best places to eat? What are the best places to go on a first date? What are their fun things to do in the area? Now I'm putting all of that content in front of them so they cannot forget about me. Okay. Here's some examples of that. Here's like a home inspection. How should you, why worry about having a home inspection prior to putting your house on the market? Multiple offers, what should you do, right? Now I'm also sending them real estate expert views, the 2021 housing market. And then I'm showing them community videos. I'm showing up all the time where they're at, okay? So also, what I'm doing is now I'm sending them a video that is a 17-minute video, which is a marketing video that shows them how I market my properties and what makes me totally different from my competitors. Here's right. I teach them how important marketing online is, social media, and how innovation really, really affects the value of their property. And it really positions me as different. Here's an example. Yeah, I can't click that. So when you click the link, when you click the link of the QR code, there'll be an example of this video so you can look at it on your own time. It's 3 minutes long. This video is a 17-minute long video, but I'm just showing you a 3-minute cap, okay? So now I'm really trying to position myself as different and also letting them get to know me, like me, and trust me at the same time. Now that they've watched that video showing how we market, then I send them another video showing them how we sell our properties on average for 21% more than our competitors, which results in $166,000 more income. Okay. Now, the cool thing about this is that they're understanding how we use innovation and marketing and social media to market their properties. Now we're showing them what the difference that actually makes. Now, understand, each time they watch a video, I'm getting them to know me. I'm positioning myself as the authority. I'm breaking down their barriers. They're getting to know, like, and trust me, right? And I'm getting them much more closer to converting because I am winning before I arrive. I'm educating them. I'm adding value to them, right? I'm making it impossible for them to forget about me. Now, remember earlier I showed you how I sent them to a CMA and they gave me their contact information. So now, not only am I digitally sending them the nurture videos, the market update, the marketing video, the community videos, the testimonial videos, and how I market my properties, I'm also, since I have their email, now I'm also putting that to their inbox because I own their contact information now. So we're retargeting all of this stuff on Facebook, but since I have their email, we are also sending this through our CRM, okay? Which you should be doing if you're using KV Core. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just like show you this. Now, once somebody raises their hand and they say, Krista, they say, Krista, I would like you to give me a CMA. I would like a market analysis on my home. I'm gonna show you what I do to make sure that they say yes to me, okay? So I drop off the CMA. In that CMA, I drop off, I'll show you here, I drop off a marketing plan in there, drop off my book, A Savvy Seller. So I drop off this hard copy of this book, right? Which is written by myself and a New York Times bestselling editor. I also drop off my marketing plan. And this is like, this marketing plan is like completely designed to just, again, showcase myself as the authority, to add value, and to position me as different than my competitors, okay? And I drop it off in this box right here. And as you can see, there's a QR code here that takes them to a seller landing page so they can get more information about me. And then here's what's inside the front of the box. You'll also notice that I drop off this as well with their address there, their name goes there. And just this one sheet alone is positioned to help me convert more. So for example, I'll read to you under the marketing tab right here. It says Facebook ads, retargeting campaigns, digital repurposing, digital marketing, traditional marketing, design consultation, virtual online open houses, 360 tour, direct mail, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn ads, mass web exposure, signage, website print. Most people aren't talking about, Facebook, Instagram, SEO, and that kind of thing. So this is also positioned to help me convert. And people will say, Krista, you're the only person that did all these things before you came to my house. We do this exact same process before we go on a listing appointment. We drop off the book, the marketing plan, the seller's guide. They watch a 17-minute pre-listing marketing video. Before a listing appointment, I do everything I do in this process. The only difference is I do not send the market analysis. I only send the market analysis when they request one. I do not do that before a listing appointment. Okay, so I drop off all that stuff. Again, I just showed you that. There's the marketing plan. There's Savvy Seller Book, the seller's guide. We drop them off in these boxes. Here's some of my students, things that they've done. Here's other marketing plans that they have. Wouldn't you love to be Betsy here and dropping off all of those CMAs? Wouldn't that feel awesome, right? Now, I knock on the door. I see if they're home so I can hand them the box. If they don't answer, I do a quick text message and say, hey, Mr. Seller, check your front porch. I just dropped off something. Also check your email because I did a personalized market review of your home. So check your email for that. Again, so we knock on the door and ask them that. Now, this is where it really gets great, okay? We do a market review of the actual report through Zoom or Loom. Brody, can you get that, please? Yeah. Through Zoom or Loom. Thank you. So now, like, they've requested home analysis. I'm doing all these wonderful things, but I'm also now doing a personal review of the CMA, sharing my screen. They see my face. I'm saying their name. I'm reviewing their house. And here's an example. Again, when you go to that QR code, you can see an example of exactly how we review the CMA and what that looks like. You can scan this and you can see another updated one that we have done. So you can actually see this process in action. For the sake of time, I don't want to bore you all. Remember it. So now I've sent them my listing marketing video. Again, that's automated. They get a digital copy of the CMA, a digital copy of the marketing plan, of the Savvy Seller Guide, the book, and the seller guide. Okay. Then we send them the marketing video. Are all agents alike? Does it make a difference who you hire? Which is right here. Again, that's on that QR code. And then we also send them a video showing the why it makes a difference. Okay. We send them digitally and we send them, retarget them, the seller testimonials and the marketing video. So you'll notice these two processes are very, very similar as far as exactly what it is that we do. Okay. But this is how we are able to, if we can make that bigger, that'd be great. This is how we're absolutely able to just not only get someone to request a market analysis. You can take pictures of all these because this is like the next couple of slides are going to give you a step-by-step of exactly what it is, the process. So it's all in one spot. But I don't just want people to, I don't just want to generate leads. I want to convert leads. So I know that if I take the time and energy and do this after somebody gives me their contact information, they are much more likely to convert. And understand this, each time I do something like send a video where I review it, give them a copy of my book, give them a copy of my marketing plan, I'm just elevating my status, positioning myself as the authority, and showing that I'm doing things that most likely probably 99% of my competitors are not doing, okay? And so the idea is that I always tell people, anything and everything that you do, here's an example of our landing page for our Savvy Seller Book, but anything and everything that you do should replicate what they should expect from you. You're always on a job interview. Like, I'm just showing these people, this is how Krista's gonna treat me, right? She's doing all this stuff before we'd even hired her. Man, she's gonna do a great job when hiring me. Here's another example of things that we do with the CMA drop-off strategy in neighborhoods, or we do this exact same process when we list a home or have a buyer that we close on. We will do a market review of the area. And so we'll drop a flyer off. Well, the QR code directly goes to a market analysis of their neighborhood. Again, so they can get to know me, like me, and trust me. So you can take look at those. Hopefully those are still active. And again, this is Joe saying 5 detailed CMA reports from potential sellers requesting requesting information on their home. Persistence pays off, right? Here's Joe delivering his market analysis. Joe, as of the time of this video, has already sold 182 homes this year, which is amazing. Okay. So this stuff totally works. So what I want to understand is, if I'm going on a listing presentation and I'm competing with you, or somebody that's doing this is competing with you, we're doing all of these things while most other agents are doing nothing. So my, my chances of closing that deal and getting that seller to say yes significantly increases because of all of the things that I have done that my competitors haven't. Because my goal is to win before I arrive, right? So when I get there, commission doesn't come up, interviewing other agents doesn't come up, they want to hire me, okay? Here's another QR code you can download, which will take you right to, so you can see our things. Also, on that, we'll show you how we do different market updates for people. We don't have time on there. Here's an example of our 3-minute listing presentation, the one that you missed. If you take a click on that QR code, you will also be able to see 3 minutes of that 17-minute marketing video, which we use to position ourselves as the authority. So now it's your turn. Be sure to follow me on all socials. I'm Krista Maysher. I'd love to help you. Thanks for having me here. It was amazing. I appreciate it. You guys learn lots, and it's more important though to implement. Knowledge is not power, implementation is, and I'll see you next time.